All right, hello again, and thank you for watching. Oh, before I forget, any links to my galleries will be in the description down below. So I just wanted to quickly mention this new neoprene case I got for my Nikon Z7. It's made by a company called Neoprene. Which you see the name really big on the... Not all of them have it, I guess. There's a couple different colors. This one's gray, obviously, but there's a few other colors, black and some other ones. But, you know, it's kind of a self-explanatory what it is. It's just a little neoprene protective case if you want to just have your camera not in a bag somewhere, but you don't, well, let's say you want to put it in your car, for example, and you have like one of those consoles, center consoles. You want to lift up the center console and put this in there, and maybe you've got some other things in there. So you could put this in there and not have to worry about it getting, you know, scratching up on the back of the camera and so on. So again, for the Nikon Z6 or Z7, I think this was about $16 or so on Amazon. And that was a few weeks ago when I bought it. So basically it has this little flap. There's a Velcro piece on the bottom. You just undo that, and then it flap lifts up. And you see that it does have, you know, since it's got this basically the slot here on the side, you can keep your camera strap on there if you have a camera strap. So once you have it lift up, you can see kind of how far it comes up. You have to use both hands to get this in there because of the way it comes up so far. In a way that's kind of annoying, but in a way it's good because then you get a little bit, maybe double protection there. So you know, it goes up pretty far on the LCD, and then once you put this flap down over it, then it you know, it kind of covers it double right there, and then just single layer right there. And what this is for the 24-70 kit lens. So if you have your 24-70 f4 Nikon Z mount lens, let's leave this over here, and with the lens, excuse me, with the lens hood turned around backwards, or without the lens hood on. You could probably put the FTZ adapter on there and maybe have a small, maybe like the 50mm f1.8 f mount lens, you know, something small like that. That would probably work too. But, you know, it's kind of designed to fit the kit lens, which in this case is usually the 24-70 f4 S-line lens. And so that's really it. I mean, it's just a pretty simple thing, but I do like to have kind of something like this just for some basic protection. Not really much going on with me photographically here lately. Not really much to say about the Z7, and right now, you know, I still really enjoy it. I'd say I love it. You know, still really excellent image quality out of it. Focusing is fine for what I do. You know, it's not, again, we've been through that before. It's not a sports camera. You know, there's some rumors coming out that there will be a higher res Nikon Z camera or a sports camera, you know, something, you know, if you want to call it that, maybe something like a D5 replacement. But if you think about it, there's really no reason why they couldn't make something like that. I don't know if they intentionally kind of left these where they are, because these don't even have, on the bottom, you know, they don't even have any contacts for like a battery grip. So they still don't have that battery grip out yet. Excuse me. But when they do, there's no contacts here, so there's not going to be like a vertical button, you know, buttons on the vertical grip so you can shoot in portrait mode, portrait orientation. So I just kind of wonder if they intentionally left these the way they are, you know, like not necessarily a D850 replacement here, but, you know, I'm sure there's other stuff coming. I just have no idea what's going to be next. I still do need to get a bunch of lenses out though. I'd still like to have something like a 24-200 or 24-175 constant f4 aperture. You know, again, like I said, I've probably mentioned this before, like the Olympus 12-100 f4 Pro lens for the Micro Four Thirds camera system. That was one of my favorite lenses ever. It's really, first of all, a beautiful lens, very well built, excellent optical quality, had built-in stabilization, so you put that on the camera. Well, paired with a Panasonic camera, you wouldn't get dual IS, but with an Olympus camera, it would. But anyway, it had optical image stabilization, so I'd like to, you know, have something like that for this. I know Canon just recently announced, what is it, a 24 to 240, I guess, is similar to the 24 to 240 that Sony has. So I'm just kind of curious now what Nikon's going to do. If they could keep it a constant f4 aperture, you know, in a more upper scale lens and weather sealed and everything else, and you know, even not as good as image quality or optical quality as a 24 to 70 f4, but if it was, you know, maybe 80% of that or so, I think that'd be well worth buying, and for me that would be a great lens. I realize there's not a lot of people don't want to buy a lens like that, and they just rather stick with a 24 to 70 f2.8 and a 7200 f2.8 and, you know, etc. But the, you know, for what I do, it just, those type of lenses are a little more expensive than I want to pay for, and especially with the quality out of something like this lens. I mean, this is really excellent, better than any of the f-mount lenses I use, but of course I didn't use the Pro line lenses. But so that's it. I'm just going to stop with that. There's really no point in babbling on anymore. Again, this is the little neoprene protective case for the Z6 and Z7 made by that Neoprene company. And again, that's around $16-17 on Amazon. And just in case you're curious, I'm recording this with the Panasonic G95. It's on the multi-area mode, like the 49-point autofocus mode, where it just kind of focuses on whatever's closest, I would assume. So I don't have it on my like face detect, because if I held something up, you know, I was kind of hoping that it would focus on this rather than being stuck on my face. And just kind of curious if I guess you kind of have to block the lens, you know, give it something, give it a little encouragement to focus on something closer rather than just staying on your face. So I'm just curious if it's kind of hard to see. I'm watching my phone here. But yeah, we'll stop with that. So, you know, like I said, I still like the G95 for what it is. You know, just a little messing around camera. If I really wanted to and had to, you've probably seen, maybe you haven't, but if you want to, I'll put the link in the description down below, the G85 gallery that I have. I mean, it made some really nice images. And, you know, if I got out enough with the G95 and had it with me and had in the right opportunities, you can make some really nice images with the G95 too, because it's got the same sensor as the GH5 and the G9. But, you know, I have the Z7 with me most of the time now anyway, so the G95, unfortunately, would not really get that much use other than doing things like this. Things where I want more depth of field naturally anyway. You know, if I want to take a picture of something to sell on eBay, maybe I'd probably use a G95 for that, because I have a, you know, the depth of field is twice as much as a full frame camera. So f4 on the G95 would be like f8 on the Z7 as far as the depth of field goes. So anyway, so that's it. I hope everything is going well with everybody else, and thanks for watching. What'd I say? Hope everything's going well for everyone else. Everybody else. I don't know what I said, but you know what I mean. Thanks. Goodbye.